Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to take a close look at the promotional text for an astrology service. We're going to deconstruct how it's written piece by piece to understand how it builds trust and sells this big promise of harmony to people who are facing challenges in their life.
So right out of the gate, it hits you with a question that, let's be honest, almost everyone is going to say yes to. Facing personal or professional challenges. It's not just a question, right? It's creating an immediate connection, a shared feeling of, yeah, life can be tough. It perfectly sets the stage for a solution. And then, bam, right after pointing out the problem, it hands you the ultimate solution. And I want you to notice the wording here. It doesn't just say help or guidance. It says harmony. That's such a powerful emotional word. It suggests a return to a perfect state of balance, which makes the whole service feel less like a simple chat and more like a real journey to inner peace.
Okay, so this promise of harmony is the big goal. But how exactly does the service claim it can get you there? Well, it starts by taking the big, messy chaos of life and neatly sorting it into a few key categories. Let's take a look at the specific problems it says it can handle.
So the service focuses on 4 huge universal areas of our lives: love, career, health, and family. I mean, think about it. Who isn't dealing with something in at least one of those categories? It's a really smart approach because by casting such a wide net, it makes sure that pretty much anyone reading this will see their own struggles reflected right there on the page.
So now that the problems are on the table, the spotlight shifts. It's time to meet the hero of the story, the expert who can supposedly fix it all. Let's see how the text builds up the astrologer's credibility.
The credibility of this practitioner, Master Sanjivram Ji, is built using some very carefully chosen words. Renowned, that immediately implies that lots of other people already trust him. Vedic astrology, that gives it a sense of ancient wisdom and authority. And then you get this brilliant 1-2 punch. Accurate predictions to give you clarity, followed by effective remedies to give you a sense of control. It's the whole package, insight and action.
So if you really look at the strategy here, it all comes down to building your confidence. And it does that in 3 ways. First, it flat out uses the word trust. Second, by naming a specific place, Sydney, it makes the whole thing feel real and grounded, not just some random website. And third, having a named expert gives it a personal, human touch. It's a perfect trifecta for building credibility.
Okay, so we know the problems and we've met the expert. But what's the actual process here? What do you do? Well, the source lays out a really clear, simple path to get you from that state of chaos to one of harmony. The whole method is presented as this simple 3-step journey, which is just so appealing. Step 1, gain clarity, speaks to that deep need we all have to just understand what's going on. Step 2, remove obstacles, gives us a feeling of power and control. And then step 3, restore harmony, that delivers the ultimate emotional payoff. This structure turns a potentially vague spiritual service into a clear, step-by-step plan.
A clear process is one thing, but it's really the destination that sells the journey, right? So what does the source actually promise you'll get at the end of all this? Let's break down the final outcomes.
And here, the language just gets elevated. It moves from the practical to something much more profound. Divine guidance adds this whole spiritual layer. And then peace and prosperity, I mean, those are 2 of the most basic, fundamental things people want out of life. Suddenly, it's not just about fixing a problem anymore. It's about reaching a higher, more fulfilling way of living.
This slide really lays the whole value proposition bare. It's genius. It draws a straight line from every problem to a specific positive outcome. You've got personal challenges, you get clarity. You have obstacles, you get peace. It's this powerful formula that's basically saying, tell me what's wrong, and I will literally transform it into something good. This 1-to-1 mapping makes the value of the service feel crystal clear.
And finally, after building this really compelling case, the text does what any good piece of marketing does. It tells you exactly what to do next. Let's look at the call to action. The last step is made as simple as it can possibly be. There are no complicated forms to fill out, no hoops to jump through. Just 2 direct ways to get in touch. A phone number if you want to talk right away, and an email if you'd rather write things out. The path from being curious to actually having a consultation is totally clear and frictionless. So we end up right back where we started, with this powerful kind of abstract promise of true balance. When you deconstruct this text like we just have, you can see it's way more than just an ad. It's a carefully crafted story. It identifies a universal pain point, introduces a credible hero,
lays out a simple map, and promises this amazing, transformative destination. And the final question it leaves us with isn't just about what true balance looks like, but about how effective a simple, well-told story can be in making us believe that something like that is actually within our reach.